My focus always is to make sure that we are present in Massachusetts. The number one thing I heard is, yes, focus on the national issues, but don't forget that there are people who are struggling here, whether they're incarcerated, whether they can't afford their health care insurance, whether they have loved ones who are suffering because of the opioid crisis or being evicted out of their homes. There's significant work to do in Massachusetts. So we are going to stay focused here while inserting our voice where we are taking leadership roles on housing, guns, and other issues too. But really it is about protecting youth. It is about making sure that consumers are protected, that people are not profiting, including third-party advertisers, on losses by those who choose to bet, that they're not profiting on particular populations of folks that often could be targeted for this type of betting, and that we're doing everything we can to protect folks from it becoming obviously addictive. There's a risk there, and of course, to protect folks from any type of gambling addiction. We've been having conversations post the meeting with, frankly, the U.S. Attorney's Office on ways in which to create a space for people to report. I also think you got to be proactive, right? You can't sort of just wait. This is an ongoing conversation. Wait for people to come to you. If they are operating in certain municipalities based on what we're seeing publicly or based on what people are seeing on social media. So we're in the process of hiring. There are resumes coming in, which is really good. We're hiring, frankly, across every office, including the Springfield office. And I'm confident we'll find someone with expertise and real talent to run that unit. Right now, for each unit, not just this one, our budget request, which I was just, of course, testifying for, is just to hire one director to run the unit, to sort of get it off the ground, establish working groups where appropriate to inform the work, develop a strategic plan for the unit itself, and do so in partnership with a whole host of stakeholders. And frankly, to do that stakeholder outreach at the beginning. Crisis pregnancy centers, right now, the advisory is proving to be still useful. We will, at some point, if necessary, look at other ways to hold CPCs accountable based on any complaints that we get. It came up, obviously, in the recent budget hearing as well. And the goal is, I said at the hearing, we take our cues from the constituent who reaches out to us about major concerns they have with respect to anyone who may be offering deceptive marketing practices. And I do think, as we talk about it in the economic opportunity context, we could be more specific on how the office is also working to close the racial wealth gap. So, we don't need another report from the federal government on the appraisal issues, particularly for Black families, access to capital. It's still discriminatory, even as folks are using new technology to determine whether or not you are eligible for a mortgage product, for example. Some of the discrimination that is built in the model of the technology. So the Civil Rights Division and so many others are at the forefront of this.